Hey guys, and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about the rest of the questions in Foundation 2021 2F52. Now, question 14, work out 39% of 450. Now, to find this number, first we have to understand what's the meaning of 39%. 39% means in fraction 39 over 100, like this. So 39 divide 100. This is the meaning of 39%. And then after you do this fraction, you multiply it by the total number, which is 450. So you take the fraction, multiply it by 450, and you will get the answer for the question. So 39 over 100, and then multiply it by 450, and the answer will be 175.5. And this is the number that we need in the answer. Now, let's move on to the next question. Next question here. A, B. Write one pair of brackets in this calculation so that the answer is correct. So we need the answer of 25. So let me tell you this. You can't write a bracket here because it's already doing the multiplying first. So you have two options. The bracket might be here, like this. So the answer. So this is one of the options. So let's try it with a calculator. Putting brackets here. So here we have 9 times 8 minus bracket 5 minus 2 close bracket. And the answer is not 69. Now let's remove this bracket and try to put it here. Bracket. Now let's remove this bracket because it didn't work. Now the other option is putting the bracket here. So 8 and 5 like this. Now we put it in the calculator. So 9 times bracket 8 minus 5 close bracket minus 2. Now we push equals and the answer is 25. It means this is the correct place for the bracket. Now you can, as I said, you can't put it on the 9 and the 8 because the bit math will tell you that multiplying will be, or what's happening inside the bracket will be first. Even if you remove the bracket, the multiplying will be before the subtraction. Now this is the right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Here, work out the value of this, give your answer as a decimal, and write down all the figures on your calculator display. It means calculate this with a calculator and write the answer as decimals. So I'm going to do it like this. Square root of 8.9, and then down, and then denominator 6.2 minus 3.5. And the full answer is 1.1. I'll write it here. As they said, they want the full answer, so write the full answer. So 1.104921029. And this is the right answer for this question. Now let's move on to the next question. Question 15. Write 600 as a product of powers of its prime factors. Show your work clearly. So this one means what? It means divide the number into its prime factors and write them as a power or a power notation. Now let's do this here. We're going to take the 600. So first thing we do, we're going to take the 600, okay, divide it by 2, like this. Let's put a fraction line. So 600 divide 2 is going to be 300, and then divide 2 is going to be 150. And then we can we divide by 2? Yes. So it's going to be 75. 75 can't be divided by 2. It means we have to divide it by 3. 75 divide 3 is going to be, let's do it here, 3. It's going to be 25. Now 25 can't be divided by 3, so you have to divide by 5. You'll get 5. And then the 5 should be divided by 5 to get 1. Now, once you reach the 1 under the original number, you can stop here. So you write stop, so you know that you can't divide anymore. Now, these are the numbers that we want. These are the prime numbers. Now we write them as powers. It means we write 2 power of 3 because we have 3 twos, so power of 3 multiplied by 3 and then multiplied by 5 power of 2. This is how you write the correct answer. Or you can write it as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. Same idea with the answers. Now, you can do a notation or the power notation or the index notation as the answer, like this. And this is how you find the products or write a number as a product of its prime factors. Now, let's move on to the next question. Question 16. Show that this one divide this one equals this one. So here, it means you have to explain what's happening. First, we're going to take this mixed number and turn it into a prime, an improper fraction. Same idea with this mixed number, turn it into an improper fraction. And then here, the answer, I'm going to turn it into an improper fraction. Let's work with the answer first. To turn a mixed number into an improper fraction, first thing you do, you have to use the same denominator. So I'm going to use the same denominator here, 7, put it here, like this. So this one will be a 7. Now you come to the mixed number, you multiply here, you put multiplying sign here, and then the answer, you should add it to the one in the numerator, and then it will give you the number in the numerator. So 7 times 2 is going to be 14. 14 plus 2 is going to be 16. So the answer is 16 over 7. Now this one is the improper fraction. Now I'm going to do the same thing here and calculate them and check if I get the right answer. So it has to be 16 over 7 to become right. Now I'm going to do the same steps here. I'm going to turn this mixed number into an improper fraction. We'll do it here. So the first one here, I'm going to use the same denominator first. So it's a 7. I'm going to use it here. So I'll put a 7 here. Same idea with the mixed number, multiply and add. So I put the multiplying sign here, multiply this, and then add the answer with this one. So 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 4 is going to be 18. So this one is 18. Next one, same idea. I'm going to turn it into an improper fraction. This one is a dividing sign. Don't forget this sign. Put it between them. So here, I'm going to write a dividing sign like this. Put the fraction like this. And then we have a division sign like this. So you don't forget. And then I'm going to use this mixed number, same idea, and turn it into improper fraction. Let me use the boxes like this. You have to show your steps because they are important. Use the same denominator here, which is 8. Here. And then do the same steps of turning mixed numbers into improper fractions. I'm going to multiply here and then add the numerator. So 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is going to be 9. It means the numerator will be 9. Now I have the denominator and the numerator, and they're divided by each other. Now, we remember when we divide fractions by each other, we use a method. It's called the keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. It means we're going to keep the first fraction. So this one is going to be kept. And then we're going to change this into multiplying. And then we're going to flip the last fraction. So it means this one, the first one will be 18 over 7. Let's write it here. 18 over 7. We keep this one. And we change the dividing into multiplying. This one will be multiplied by. And the last fraction will be flipped. So 9 over 8 is going to be 8 over 9. Now, here, We're doing the same steps. Now we're going to multiply. When we multiply fractions, it means we multiply the numerators and we multiply the denominators and write the answer. So here is going to be the answer for our question. So when we multiply them, first we multiply the numerators, 18 times 8. 18 times 8 is 144. 144. And then we have 7 times 9. So 7 times 9 is 63. 63. Now we're going to simplify. Gonna simplify. Simplifying means what? It means dividing the numerators and the denominators by the common factors. By the common factors. Now the common factors that we have, this one can be divided by 9. We can divide this by 9. So 63 divide 9 will give me 7. So this one will become 7 here. And because we divided the denominator by 9, we're going to do the same for the numerator. 144 divide 9 will give me 16. So the final fraction is 16 over 7. 16 over 7. And it's the same as given in the question before. This is the meaning of showing or proving that the answer is correct. This means that this one is the same as this one. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now, let's move on to the next question. Question 17. The bearing of Paris from London is 149. Work out the bearing of London from Paris. Now, you don't have to draw the shapes, but I just want to draw so I can explain the idea of bearing. So we have 2 points. We have Paris and London. Let's say this is London. Let's call it L or London. And this one here is Paris. These are the points. Let's connect them with a line. Let's say this is London and this is Paris. Okay. Now, the bearing means what? It means, first, let's put them down a little bit. Yes, so we can write here. First thing, this is the north line. Let's put it here. And this is the north line for Paris. So from London, it means the angle is over here, London's space. And from Paris is going to be here. Now, you have to understand that the bearing is an angle that starts from the north line, which is this line, and goes clockwise. So it starts from the north line and goes clockwise until stopped from another line. So it's going to go clockwise like this. So this is the bearing from London. And the one from Paris will go clockwise, same idea, until it's stopped from another line. The bearing always goes clockwise. Remember that, okay? So this one is 149. As they said, this one is 149. They need the other bearing. Now, the rule says what? If you have a bearing here, it means this one is going to be a straight line, and this 149 is the same as this 149. So this one is 149. Why is that? Because they are corresponding angles. They make the letter F together. So these are corresponding angles. They make the letter F. And this angle here is 180 because it's a straight line. So this bearing is 149. This bearing, if you want to find it, just take the 149 and add 180 to it. This is how you do it using the drawing. Now, let me explain the rule without the drawing. If they give you one of the bearings and the number they gave you is less than 180, it means you have to add 180 to it. So if it's less than 180, add 180 to it. This is the rule. Focus on this. If the angle they gave you is less than 180, just add 180. Okay? And if the angle is more than 180, you have to subtract 180 from it. This is the rule of finding bearings. So if it's less than 180, add 180. If it's more, subtract 180. When you look at this bearing, it's already less than 180. It means we have to follow the rule of adding 180. It means we're going to take 149 plus 180 to it, and you'll get the bearing of the other angle. So 149 plus 180, and the answer is 329. So both ideas are good. You can use the drawing idea, or you can use the idea of the other angle, or the angles more or less than 180. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now, let's move on to the next question. Question 18. We have sets of letters of the alphabet. So this is the universal set, letters of the alphabet. And here we have set B, which is Brazil, and set I, which is Ireland. Now, question A, list the members of the set B in union I, B union I. Now, you can do this using Venn diagram, or you can use these without using Venn diagram. Now, the word union here, or the symbol, means all of the letters together, all of the letters in B and I. This is the meaning of union. So when we write it as a set, we put brackets of sets like this, and then we write the letters inside B and inside I. This is the meaning of union. So it's going to be, let's write it like this, B, R, A, Z, I, L. This is Brazil. Now let's check Ireland. If we wrote the letter, we don't have to use it again. If we didn't write it, we have to write it. So we already have an I. We already have an R. We didn't do the E, so we put E here. And then L, we used it. A, we used it. N, we didn't, so we put N. And the last one is D. We didn't use it, so we put D. And then we close the set with a bracket. And this is how you write the union together. So it's going to be Brazil, E-N-D. This is the union between B and I. Now let's take a look at the second question, which is 2. This one is B intersect I complement. B intersect I complement. What does that mean? It means I complement means the letters outside of I, the letters outside of I. And then the intersection between the letters outside of I and B, the letters outside of I and B. Now, you can do this using Venn diagram. So let's use Venn diagram so you understand the idea. Here, with Venn diagram, I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? It's very important to understand how to use Venn diagram. This is Venn diagram. It has 2 circles. Let's put the circles. And then we will put all the letters. These are the circles. Let's make them bigger. Okay. Now, let's fill them with the letters. Let's say this is set B here. This is B. And this is I. And this is the universal set, okay? Universal set. Now, let's fill them with the letters. We have B, Brazil, here. B here. Now, first, we have to find what's common between them. The common ones between them, we have the I, so we write it here. I, and we have the R, so R, and we have the L, A, and that's it. So we have I, R, L, A, okay? Now, because we use them here, we have to remove them from the sets here. So we already used the R's, the I, the A's, and the L, A and L. Now we take a look at the ones we didn't use. We have the B and the Z in Brazil. So we put the B and the Z. And Ireland, we have E and N and D. So E and D. E and D. Now, we already finished set B and set I. Now, let's take a look at the universal ones, which is the letters of the alphabet. Now, let's count them. We have A. Let's check if we used it or not. We have already have A. B is used. C is not, so we put C. D is used. E, F, G, H. I is used. H, I, J, K. L is used. M, N is used. M, N. O, P, Q, sorry, Q, R. R is used. S, Q, R, S. T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z is already used. So these are the letters that we didn't use from the universal set. So we have these and these. So we already know that we didn't use Y, X, W, V, U, T, and S. Now let's check the question. Here they're talking about B intersect I complement. Now we have to understand what's the meaning of I complement. I complement means anything outside of I. So we're not going to count I. So let's cover I like this. We're not going to count the I. So we're going to cover it like this. So we have this and this. This is outside of I. This is I complement. And intersection with B, it means the letters that are at the same time inside B. So the letters outside of I at the same time inside of B. It means which letters are they? Very good. It means these letters, which is the B and the Z. So the answer for this question is B and Z. So we use sets like this, and it's B and Z. We understand the idea because it's the intersection between B and I complement. So it means the letters that are inside of B at the same time in the outside of I. So the answer is B and Z. Now let's move on to the next question. This is 3. This is another question. So let's erase these. Focus on the steps of answering these questions because they're very important. Now we have set K, which is Kenya, Kenya. Cody writes down the statement that B intersect K equals phi, which is an empty set. Now Cody's statement is wrong. Explain why. Why do you think Cody's statement is wrong? Now this is B, which is Brazil. We established that this is B, which is Brazil, and this is Kenya. Now we already know that they share A. So let's write Brazil here. So this is B. B equals Brazil, which is Brazil. Okay, this is Brazil. And this is Kenya. Now, B intersect K means what? It means the letters which are inside of B and inside of K at the same time. So which letters can you see? We can see the A. Good. So this is one of them. And that's it. Yeah, the K only. The A only, I'm sorry. So because we have the A in common, it means this is a phi. It's not a phi. He said it's a phi. It's an empty set. So here in the explanations, we're going to say because they both share the letter A, for example. This is one of the explanations that you can write because both of them have the letter A. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now let's move on to the next question. This is sets. Okay. Next question. We have question 19. Question 19. Okay. In question 19, we have a shape. Let's take a look at it. Here we have parallel lines and we have triangles, isosceles triangle. Let's take a look at the question first. So the question says ABCD and FGHI are parallel straight lines. EBGJ and ECH are straight lines. These are straight lines. These are parallel lines. BE equals CE. BE equals CE as lines. So this is isosceles. The angle BEC is 44. So we can find these angles. The question is work out the size of angle JGH, which is this one, JGH. Give a reason for each stage of work. So each step you do, you have to give reasons. Good. Now, we can see this is an isosceles triangle. It means we can find these angles because they are the same. This angle is the same as this one because this is an isosceles triangle and they are the base angles of this isosceles triangle. How do we find them? By subtracting 144 from 180. Subtracting 44 from 180, so 180 minus 44, and it's going to be 136. And then dividing the 136 by 2, and the answer is 68, equals 68. So these angles are 68 each, so 68. And what's the reason? As we said, because it's an isosceles triangle, you have to write the reason. Isosceles triangle, it means we subtract and divide by 2, so both of them are 68. Now, this is the first step. Now, we need to find this angle. So let's find this angle by completing the straight line. So this angle, which is CBG, let's call it CBG, CBG, sorry, G, equals 180 minus 68. So 180 minus 68. And the answer is 112. Now, what's the reason? We call these straight line angles. Straight line angles. So straight line angles add up to 180. So we subtracted, we found this, which is 112. Now, this angle, which is CBG, will equal to JGH. So we say CBG equals JGH equals 112. And what's the reason? Very good. Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. So these angles are corresponding angles. It means they are equal angles. And this is the right answer for this question. So remember, this is an isosceles triangle. We subtracted from 180 and then divide by 2. We got this. And then subtract from 180 because it's a straight line. And this will equal this because both of them are corresponding angles. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now let's move on to the next question. See, this one is a long question, so we're gonna put it in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.